Hey there, lovely ladies. Happy Wednesday. Okay, so today I am going to chat with you a little bit more about your desires. So last night I was talking about expectations versus desires and why you want to be more in touch with and hold on to your desires rather than the expectations that may end up being very actually demotivating and kind of soul sucking and just really be almost like a heavy weight on your shoulders, right? That's kind of set us up for disappointment sometimes, where our desires will never set us up for disappointment because if they come from your soul, right, you feel completely different. You don't feel like there's something out there that you're trying to chase, right? Or something that you have to do, or something that is bigger than you that you're trying to accomplish. It's just something that drives you from the inside that you can't really explain. So let's talk a little bit about desires for a second and what they really are, right? Because how do you tell the difference between a desire and something that's just a thought in your head or a goal? Sometimes even a desire is, really, in my opinion, the way we did it in our release and realign group is that you want to uncover your desires first and then create your goals around that. But I'll go into that later on. What I'm going to do today is talk about how to start to uncover what your desires really are, because from now, probably a lot of people from, the time they were younger till now have been trying to make goals, kind of like the New Year's resolutions or goals, things that you feel like you need to achieve or you need to have. Whether or not you really want them, that's something that we haven't always considered. And so how do you know the difference? If it's just something that, something that your mind is coming up with, that your ego is coming up with, or if it's a real, true soul aligned desire. And so desires are something that expand you. There's something, if we're here on this earth, right? We're like spiritual beings having a human experience. So we're here to expand. We're here to become the best version of ourselves. And we do this through, all these different life lessons. Some of them are really good and fun and amazing. Some can be really painful. The common thread is that every experience allows us to grow, expand, and know who we truly are, right? Because if something's painful, every body signal that we get in every situation, if it's excitement, then we know it's in alignment somewhere. Like it's something, it's speaking to our inner self. This is awesome with me. This feels good, right? If it's something that's heartbreaking, if it's something that makes you scared, that gives you a sick feeling in your stomach, or you have knots, then that's your body telling you that this is not in alignment. This isn't really something that feels good with me. Have you ever done something, even though you look back and go, yeah, I had a really crappy gut feeling about that person, or I kind of knew it wasn't right, but I did it anyway? So that is not something that would be a soul aligned desire that you tried to accomplish. So desires really reflect how we want to feel. And I encouraged a lot of this in the Release and Realign group, is really deciding not so much what you want, the things, it's how you want to feel, how the things that you think you want to accomplish or the goals that you have, how are they going to make them feel? Right? How are they going to make you feel? And that feeling, the desire is usually associated with that feeling. So that's what we're really going to think about. How do we want to feel? And who do we want to be? How do we want to be on a daily basis? So if you're not in touch with those things within you, then you will start to pursue goals and things that aren't in alignment with you. And how do you know that they're not in alignment or not a desire? Is you'll get them and then you'll still feel dissatisfied. You'll still feel unfulfilled. You won't find yourself being really happy. You just will kind of be constantly searching. So if you're constantly feeling like you're searching, there is something to be said for being happy and grateful right now, no matter what's going on. Finding those things to be grateful, and I'll say that in other videos too, right? That's the foundation. But for this purpose, we're talking about how to uncover our desires, because even when you are able to get yourself in that gratitude space, you may find whatever you have created in your life around you is not an authentic reflection of you. And this is something that happened to me in my late 30s. I had really created a life for myself that I kind of woke up and discovered was completely not in alignment with my true desires. I just did and acted and made decisions based on what I thought I should do, based on other people's desires or other people's opinions, or what I thought I needed to do by a certain age. I wanted to get married by X, or have kids by X. And I thought I wanted to just be married and a stay-at-home mom and do all the things. And then when I had all those things, right, I had to be grateful because there were other women who probably would love to be in that position, but were not able to for whatever reason. So, I really wanted to make sure that I was grateful, but there was something still in my heart and soul that I was searching for. I was not fulfilled. I was not satisfied. I did not feel like my soul was still craving something else. And if this is true for you, you'll know what I'm saying. You'll know how that feels when your soul is craving something else. And that doesn't just mean you need counseling and you're losing your mind. In some cases, okay, maybe there are those cases. I think therapy is a good thing for many reasons in our lives. But what I mean is not the unhealthy attachment to something. I'm talking about seriously a soul craving. For me, it was having children and being at home with them and having a business at the same time that lit me up, though, not just any business, not just any job, but something that really made me feel like I was making an impact in the world, and also allowed me to have financial freedom, which is something that was a struggle in my life ever since I was a child. And I watched my mother struggle through it as a single mom. And we lived in a very lack place, a very scarcity. And I said, I don't want to be there. I don't want to have that life for myself. And I didn't want to depend on my significant other to provide that for me, right? That's just these are my desires and my feelings. Doesn't mean you have to have the same. I'm just giving an example. So I had to, and then I realized that in my marriage, that my ex-husband and I just were not aligned with each other at all. And I really had tried to instead say, I need to get married by X time. Did I do that? Yes. But was it a right relationship? No. Very extremely nice guy. There was no no horrible things that happened there, but we were not in alignment, not soulmates or close to that. And after a while, that made my soul scream. It was you won't, the lessons will keep repeating themselves, and you will feel it until you take action to do something about it. And whatever that action may be for you, it's all different for all of us. For me, I had to blow up my whole life when I was 37. I had to get a divorce. I had to find my own place to live. I had to find a way to create my own business from home really fast and start making money right then, because I was now a single mom with 2 kids. And I had to find a way to co-parent with an ex-husband when we had a lot of different ideas about parenting. We had a lot of different values. So it was really, really interesting, and try to help my children not feel so horrible about what was happening. So I was willing to do all of that, though, because I wanted to find my soul-aligned life. I wanted to create my soul-aligned life. I had to get in touch with what my desires really were. And I had to walk through that many times. It wasn't something I could just come up with like that and go, oh, here's who I really am, what my desires are. I had no freaking idea. I'd been so out of touch with myself for so long that I had no idea. So I had to really go deep. Not only with counseling and therapy, but I worked with coaches, and I really started to dig deep and do exercises like journaling, meditations, and things that started to pull myself out, slowly but surely. And it's a process. So that's why I always say, when you're going through this, even in Release and Realign, if you have to do the workbook over and over again, do it. Or if it takes you 6 months, do it. Just do the work, but give yourself the space to really dig in, even if it feels really awkward and weird, and it takes you a while, and you might even do it once, go back, and a month from now go, wait a minute, that's not it, and go back and do it again. Your self-discovery journey is it's so rewarding and fulfilling and worth it. Just give yourself the time. Don't judge the process. Don't try to get all the answers now. Don't try to critique yourself if it's right or wrong, or what you should feel or what you shouldn't feel, what your desires should look like. Oh, this is too big. This is too wild. This is too this. Doesn't matter. Your soul knows what it wants. Your intuition, your higher self knows what it wants, and it knows what's best for you, and it knows what you have to do and who you have to be to live your best life here. So trust it, go with it, even if it feels out of control. If it feels wild and crazy, if you never thought about it before, or you are like, you turn red and giggle when you think about it because it's just it's maybe a little embarrassing, it's okay. If it brings up strong feelings, it's probably the right thing. All right, so let's do this. When you get in touch with who you are and what your true desires are, you'll stop chasing things. You'll stop chasing things outside of you. And you'll lose that sense of competition in the world. You'll lose that sense of comparisonitis, comparing yourself to other people. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. And you'll find so much more peace and satisfaction in everyday life because you know you're on track. You know what you want, you know where you're going, and you know that it's truly coming from you. Not what your mom and dad wanted for you, not what your siblings wanted for you, not what your siblings are doing, not what your best friend from college is doing, not what, your in-laws think or anything, or people on Facebook. You're not going by that anymore. You're not copying industry leaders. You're not doing this and that. You're not worrying about how further along other people are doing what you're doing, or that it's, this has already been done. I don't know how I can do this too. It's already been done out there. So what? Nobody can do it like you do it. Or because your soul wants it, it's still in your highest good, and something still is going to come out of it that's amazing. So don't deny yourself. All right. So here's the thing. So this is another part. Everything that I do in this group that I'm teaching, that I'm talking about, is all about getting back to your intuition, your higher self, your manifesting abilities, and law of attraction. Okay, even though they're all different topics, they're all related to the same thing. Most of you said when you were here, you wanted to learn more about spirituality and intuition. So I'm not here to teach religion or anything like that. It's more like you really want to create your best life. And I think ultimately that's what spirituality ends up being, is getting in touch with yourself and your source so you can create a life of your dreams, right? That just lights you up. So this is what it's about. Yoga, 30 days of yoga, getting in touch with breathing, how we feel, how our body feels. And even in the yoga class, she says, bring awareness to this part, bring awareness to that. That's all part of getting in touch with intuition, talking about money manifestation, talking about confidence, even talking about desires. We're going to do meditation next month. All of these things are part of the process and will help you along. So just, follow along with me, and I invite you to take what you need and what resonates with you, and the others might not resonate with you today. It might resonate with you later. Everything's going to be in the unit section of this group. Okay. So you can look at anything that I've trained on at any point in time. All right. So this is the workbook that we had for release and realign. And it's a lot. There's a lot of pages in here. Like it's, I don't know if you can really see. There's a ton of pages. Okay. So lots. And so I'm not going to go over the whole program in this group, because the next time I do this program will be at the end of 2019. So definitely keep this in mind. I'll be reminding you in this group when we have enrollment for this program. And I know the women who went through this really, really enjoyed it. It's a workbook and it's a weekly call for 4 weeks. All right. And if you've been in through the program, anyone's watching the replay or on live who went through the program, definitely give a piece of your feedback, what you thought about it, because it will help other people for next year. And I would love to have as many women as possible really wanting to change their lives, really wanting to build a life that's authentic to them, not just everybody else's expectations of them. And then they feel like, is this all there is? Life's a bitch, man. No, we don't have to live like that. And I know what it feels like to be like that, just going through the motions of life, and freaking years go by and you're like, what the hell just happened? And why do I feel like I still just want to scream or run off or something, even though I know I adore my family, I adore my friends, and I'm grateful and happy, but there's something missing. There's something else that my soul is crying for. And I never allowed myself to think about it, right? I had mom guilt, I had spouse guilt, I thought, or I just felt like I didn't have the time to deal with me and take care of me. But what I realized is when I did stop and take care of myself, when I did incorporate my desires into my current life, it made me happier. It made me a better mom. It made me a better wife, made me a better friend, everything. It made me feel better, in better health. It all works together. And that was getting back in touch with my higher self and intuition. So what I invite you to do, I know you don't have the workbook, but I invite you to get a special journal for this group, right? For these exercises when I bring them up. And for any notes you want to take, I suggest when you watch these videos, take notes. It's hard to remember everything. And then, really just take a couple of pages in this journal and write down these categories, okay? Write down these categories. Personal, which is things like creativity, exploration, travel, contribution, integrity, self-love, self-esteem. Then you want to write social, which is family, which is your friends, which is your love life, which is your community, your kiddos. Then spiritual, which is your higher power, your source, could be church, your prayer life, it's, your life purpose, any spiritual rituals that you have, crystals, meditations. Then financial, which is debt, which is budgeting, which is planning for the future. It's your abundance mentality, your money mentality. Professional, which is your passion projects, being seen, being visible, how you perform, anything that you have for a career, your life calling, okay? Then physical, so that's your body love, that's your health, that's your body image, that's your style, that's your sexuality, your intimacy, that's your environment around you, your physical environment. So I want you to write down each of those categories, right, in a journal. And then I want you to set your timer on your phone or your clock or whatever's nearby, a timer. I want you to set it for 30 seconds, okay, 30 seconds. And then I want you to write down, right? I want you to go to each category and set it for 30 seconds. So you are only giving yourself 30 seconds to write this down. And then I want you to go in each category for 30 seconds and think to yourself the phrase, I want more of in 2019. I want more of. And then write down for 30 seconds everything you can think of under personal, under social, under spiritual, and just write down, just do a brain dump of everything for each category for 30 seconds. So go to personal, write down, I want more of in 2019. Whether it's more travel, I want to go here, I want to, take a dance class, whatever it is and then do that for each one. Because in 30 seconds, you're going fast. You're not giving yourself time to talk yourself out of it or to analyze it or to judge it. You're just writing what comes from your gut. So that's what I want you to do. If then I didn't make that clear enough, please let me know and I can explain it again. But that's one of the exercises that we did. And you know what, now that I'm thinking of it, there were more phrases that I used that you can time yourself and do more phrases. And I'm going to write them. I'm going to write them in the comments. For some reason right now, they're just not coming off the top of my head. I should have written them down. I thought I had the memory power, but I don't today. So I will write all the phrases down, and you want to say each phrase to yourself and then time it for 30 seconds and then write down everything you can think of in that category related to that phrase. But one of them is, I want more of in 2019. Okay. So I will do that, and then we're going to start with that, and then I'm going to give you another exercise to do tomorrow after you've done this one that's going to be related to that. All right, so any questions, leave me a comment, post in the group, and tag me or send me a message. And so much love for you guys. I want to see you create everything that you want this year and beyond. So this is where we're going to start. So I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow for the next one.